Good evening and welcome to the Tuesday, May 19th, 2015 Oldsmar City Council meeting. We ask you to please rise for our invocation and our pledge that will be led by our city attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Heavenly Father, we come humbly before you in a time of sorrow. Death of former city attorney John Hubbard burdens our hearts, a burden shared throughout the city. We pray that you will comfort his wife Barbara, his daughters Catherine, Wendy, Jennifer, and Natalie, and welcome John into your heavenly kingdom. We are hopeful that your grace and love will be with the Hubbard family and those present here tonight who share in their pain and loss. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Once again, welcome, and our thoughts and prayers, Tom, out to the Hubbard family. If you would share that, that would be great.
Sure.
Welcome. Our first item on tonight's agenda is our Citizens Open Forum, where it allows you to address the City Council. We only have a couple of rules. State your name and address clearly for the record. You can address things that are on the agenda for tonight, but if they are a public hearing, we ask that you hold those comments until such time as I call for them from the agenda. And the other item is that we ask that you keep your comments to no more than 5 minutes, Mr. Beaverland. Unless your lovely wife would like to donate her 5 minutes to you for a total of 10. If you had brought your son, we would give you 15. The podium is yours.
That's 20 minutes, no.
Oh, dear.
You have a light agenda until Linda gets up and says something. So.
Oh, my goodness.
Beaverland, 512 Pine Avenue South. My beautiful wife, Wanda.
Orchid Rogers, Oldsmar.
Jerry Antozzi, 509 Shore Drive East.
Well, we're here tonight is this. My beautiful wife and I have finished the fourth and the last book of that we're going to write on the city of Oldsmar, and it's called Oldsmar Past, Present, and Future. And what we've done this time is that they're downstairs. We're going to give half of the books to the library and the other half to the Oldsmar Historical Society. That's her. And they're going to sell them, and they will make all of the profit. We have never made, in fact, it's cost us some money because we have printed a couple of them ourselves. But this time we're going to do something a little different also. We have all 4 books that Wanda and I have written, and we've signed them. I signed them first, and then my wife went over there and signed over me and did a lot of it. Get up here a minute.
I'm right here.
But anyway, what they're going to do, I can't say what they're going to do because they can't do it. They have to do it in a certain way. So what they're going to do, what are you going to do?
We're going to make some money. What we're going to do is we're going to be selling tickets, voices, $20 a ticket. But when the drawing, Friends of the Library is going to be selling tickets, and Oldsmar Historical Society is going to be selling tickets. And then we're going to have one big drawing. The winner is going to be winning all 4 books of Jerry's.
Nice.
And so for a $20 investment, that's good. And this particular book, The Recollection of Oldsmar in Photographs, is really out of print, but he had one that he's donating. So it's very, very special.
I do want to tell you all that when this one was printed, my beautiful, well, actually, I had help with this one. It cost $105 a book.
Wow.
To print this one because we had it done in color. But there's a couple of things I want to, if you, Mayor, if you would, I want to read 2 things.
Sure.
The first one is a very special thanks to Roger and Leela Kumar for their dedication and untiring support to their adopted city of Oldsmar. Roger and Leela has called Oldsmar home for almost 50 years. And it is because of their generosity this fourth book is becoming a reality. They paid for it, to have it printed. Their unwavering support for Oldsmar is mostly quiet and behind the scenes, and Bruce knows this. They are private benefactors that do not seek praise, but Oldsmar owes the Kumars a sincere gratitude of recognition for their quiet support. It is because of their generosity that Oldsmar's Upper Tampa Bay Education Foundation has become a great success. Many area graduating students have received thousands of dollars in scholarships because of their kindness every year. It's because of their generosity and love of Oldsmar that Veterans Park is a reality. Their quiet liberality has benefited our city, our beautiful city, in many ways, incredible ways that still remain silent for now. Roger and Leela, the residents of Oldsmar, owes you a big thank you. What I would like is for the Historical Society and the Friends of the Library and the mayor and city manager to write a letter thanking Roger for what they've done. Then I will take the mayor and the city manager, if he wishes, and you two, and we'll go over to Roger's house, and then you all can tell him. So you all
Perfect.
get together. And
I'd
do
love
that.
to.
And then that way you'll know.
Catch him in town, right?
No, he'll be there. You know why?
I know he's busy.
Because I'll tell him to be there. And also, right inside, the dedication of this book, and it is heartfelt. Juan and I humbly dedicate the writings of this last book, or this last chapter in Oldsmar's history, to Oldsmar and all those wonderful folks, past, present, and future, who have lived here, that love this city as much as we have. And also, on this page, also to Janice Miller. It's in love and memory of Janice Miller for her love of community, for her many years of service to the residents of her beloved Oldsmar, for her untiring efforts to make Oldsmar a better city, and Bill Antozzi for his love of Oldsmar, for his dedication to serve on his city volunteer boards, for his commitment and untiring efforts to preserve Oldsmar's past history. And with that, Mayor, if you'll allow me, I'm going to try to give this to you. This is the city's copy here.
Sure, I'll pass it around.
You made it through without crying, Jerry. He was close, I know.
And with
That's
that, I'm going to give these to these two, and they can fight over them.
Sure. Okay.
And Mayor and Council, we all want to thank you for who you are.
Thank you.
Mayor, since I'm up here, can I go and give my little plug for the Oldsmar Historical Society?
Did you donate your time to him? Otherwise, if you did.
Oh, I don't know. 1 minute. We have a volunteer orientation meeting June 13th. So it's at 10 o'clock in the 1918 Bank Building. We're right across from City Hall. So if you would like to learn about volunteering at the Oldsmar Historical Society, those in the audience, just come. We have a good time and looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.
And I just want to say, Jerry and Wanda, the messages that you put and read right now really show the type of people and that you are and how much you care about it, because I can tell that it's heartfelt and you definitely meant it, and it was nice to put it in the book, especially to Bill and Janice. So very nice. Thank you. Anybody else on this side of the room? Yes. Loretta?
Paula. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Loretta White, 601 Shore Drive East. I want to come and thank everyone in the city of Oldsmar and those that live outside the city of Oldsmar, and some city council people and some city employees, and you know who you are, to thank you for all your support that you gave us at our fundraiser in April. For the Top of the Bay Garden Club. We send children to Camp Wekiva, and this year we're able to send 8. We've only sent 5. The most we've sent in the past was 5. This year we're going to send 8, and we're paying for all of their expenses. So we're very happy about that, and thanks to everyone, we were able to do that this year. So it's a good cause. So come out again next year and support us, and we appreciate all of you that did. And just come out, and you can have a good time too, you know. And we have good food. So anyway, I want to thank you on behalf of Top of the Bay Garden Club. We appreciate it very much, and I'm sure the children will too.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anybody else on this side of the room? Anybody on this side of the room? Or the back of the room? Jerry?
Thank you, Mayor. Jerry Custon, Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, 101 State Street. I'd just like to announce this weekend coming up, we're having our 7th annual Beaverland Fest right down the road. Because Beaverland is synonymous with freedom, I believe, after I've known you all these years. Is that true? That's true. And so that'll be a great thing, and I'm glad to see we're doing that during EMS week and the swearing of new firefighters, because obviously we talk about our freedoms. We're talking about our people who have served, whether it's in the military or our first responders, whether it's police, fire, rescue, everybody else. So it should be a great time right next to City Hall. Starts Friday night 5 o'clock and Sunday 10 o'clock. Hope to see you all there, and especially you, Mayor, because I already wrote your script.
Oh, boy. Anybody else on this side of the room? Yep.
I won't take much of your time. My name is Jeff Rosenfield. I live at 1760 Manchester Drive in Clearwater. I'm the editor of a website called safetyharborconnect.com, and I'm happy to announce that we are going to be launching oldsmarconnect.com within the next couple of days, probably after this meeting when I get some stories tonight to add to the site. But we're looking forward to covering the community. From what I've seen so far, I've met some of you already and toured the city, and it's a fantastic city. A lot of interesting story ideas that I'm looking forward to tackling. So anyone that has any ideas that they would like us to cover, feel free to shoot me an email. I'll leave my information here, and we look forward to working with the city and the community. We're also looking for contributors, anybody that would like to write about anything having to do with Oldsmar. We'd appreciate that, since I've already seen some people that have some in-depth knowledge of the city, so we'd be happy to use that expertise. But I just wanted to take the time to say thanks for having us aboard, and we look forward to giving some great coverage of the city of Oldsmar.
Thanks. I know you have had good luck with the Safety Harbor Connects, and we're excited that you guys are expanding into Oldsmar. I know you've been working with the city clerk's office and
Yes.
Deb, and it's excited. We have a lot of fun over here.
Yes.
Probably more fun than Safety Harbor, if you want to print that.
Hey, I'm not going to say that, but I'm going to plead the fifth, but I'm not going to argue with you either.
Will there be a Facebook page also? Like the
Yes,
Safety
thank you
Harbor
for
one?
mentioning that. There is a Facebook page that's already live, so you can like the page, and then that will, lead up to the launch, and we'll put the big, hey, now we're live, it's launched, and keep track of everything that way, and all the stories will be posted on the Facebook page as well.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming out to the Hayes Park ribbon cutting. That was nice. That's a big event for us, too. So
Sure
thanks.
thing.
Look forward to that, and we'll do whatever we can to get the word out.
Awesome.
And
Thank
Jeff,
you very much.
tell them about the story we're working on.
Working on a great story about the Art in Public Places project. That'll be on the launch. So yeah, we've got some great stories already at launch, and is in one of the stories as well. And like I said, I'll have some other content tonight after this meeting, and we'll get it up and running in the next couple of days. Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else on this side of the room? Anybody in the room in general that I missed? Seeing no one, I'll close the citizens' open forum. Next is the mayor's minute, just a couple of items. The city council and city staff met recently for our council planning retreat. It's something that we do every year. I feel it was a great success, and it really, as a council and staff, it really gives us an opportunity to meet away from the city and spend the day together, have a little fun, but also plan our following year for the city staff. So we're excited about the things that the staff will be working on. I mentioned Hayes Park Village ribbon cutting. Several of us were out there for that. For those that don't know, it's right over off of off of Pine, by the fire station. 52 homes being done by a local resident, John Buse, and F Street Homes. So we're really excited. They're already selling. If you get a chance, go by there and check them out. All the city council members, Dan, Linda, Gabby, and myself, and City Manager Bruce Haddock, had the opportunity today to go to the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office annual award ceremony. And I got to tell you, that was really nice to go. It's the first time that we were there, and I believe the sheriff was really pleased that the city of Oldsmar came out in full force. Somebody made the mention at the award ceremony that it's too bad that the news doesn't cover these types of stories instead of the bad stories. There were a lot of great people in there and a lot of heroes that have done a lot of things to save people's lives, and it was nice to see them get acknowledged for it. Freedom Fest is coming up this weekend. Come on out. It's only $2 to get in. Military and children get in, under 12 get in for free. It's right here on State Street, right next to City Hall. It's a great event, great music all weekend long. utbchamber.com. And then, of course, on Monday is our annual Memorial Day celebration down at Veterans Park. That's May 25th at 10 a.m. We have some great speakers, and opera singer Nolan Marshall, if you have not heard him sing before, he is absolutely incredible. He's an EMT firefighter, and what a set of pipes he's got on him. And we have a keynote speaker that will be there as well. So if you have the opportunity to come out, come, and if you have kids, bring them. It's so neat to see the youth celebrate Memorial Day and Veterans Day at our park. Other information, go to myoldsmar.com. And lastly, this was added in pencil to my note, go Bolts. So we'd like to see them in the Stanley Cup. That's all I have for the Mayor's Minute. Next is our consent docket. We have 3 items. Approve the minutes of the March 17th, 2015 City Council meeting. Second item, approve the minutes of the April 7th, 2015 City Council meeting. Third item is to approve the payment to legal counsel. If anybody would like to pull anything, feel free. If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 4-0. Thank you. I do want to acknowledge while we're doing that, Councilmember Eric Seidel is not with us today. He had an appointment in Canada that he was not able to get out of, so we hope him a speedy recovery back here to lovely Oldsmar. Next is the City of Oldsmar, and first is the presentation of the Council Manager Award, and that will be done by our City Manager, Mr. Bruce Haddock.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, I'm very pleased to present the Council Manager Award to Scott Talcott. So glad you could make it tonight.
Happy to be here.
And let me give a little more of an introduction. Scott is a member of the Pinellas County Economic Development Department, and he is a business development manager. And I believe you've been in that position for about 5 years now.
Right.
Yes. And Scott provides assistance to the city in terms of business expansion and retention. And I know you have certain specialties that you work with more closely, and it was kind of a long list, so fortunately that's written down for me. Advanced manufacturing, aviation and aerospace, information technology, optics, and photonics. But I think most, certainly our residents, and they're aware that we have quite a number of manufacturers in the city of Oldsmar, and they're very important to employment opportunities and maintaining the city's tax base. So part of Scott's job with Pinellas County Economic Development is promoting the expansion and retention of those folks and recruiting new ones that would come along as well. But, and also development of the workforce. So tonight we just wanted to acknowledge the contributions that you make towards building and boosting Oldsmar and making it a better place for us to live and for those that work here also. So I'm happy to present the Council Manager Award to you tonight. And you might want to take a couple of minutes to tell people also, you could do a more eloquent job as to what you do, and you know, feel free to put in a plug for, you know, Pinellas County Economic Development or however you see fit.
Sure. Thank you very much, Bruce. And I have to tell you, this is a total surprise. I thought I was coming here to recognize Bruce. So, But I know this happens because when I walked up the stairs, I saw Suzanne, and whenever I see Suzanne at something that I'm attending already, I know that something's going on. So that was the first clue. I love what I do. First of all, first and foremost, I love what I do. I love working with our companies. I like working with our workforce because that is what helps our economy grow. That is the prosperity that keeps all of us running and keeps communities moving and being strong. The strength of any community really is its workforce. And I can tell you, having been with a bunch of defense industry specialists today in Tampa, that's pretty much what I did today, was the defense and homeland security industry. They know that we're here. They know that the Tampa Bay market is a great place for workforce. And in manufacturing, we are the second largest employee base for manufacturing in the state of Florida. And a lot of people don't realize that. It's not Hillsborough, it's Pinellas County. The largest employee base area that we have is in Broward County in the state. So we should be very proud of that. And you have a large segment of manufacturing up here, and have to do a call out to Jerry Custon and his efforts with the manufacturers up here in the upper Tampa Bay area, because he's very proactive for you, and that helps a lot. What we do for the companies here locally is we go out and we talk to them. We try to find out what their needs are. Most of the time, that's going to be training. There are many training grants that are available through the state and also local workforce boards. So that's really what we do. We go out there and we canvass, and we try to find out what their needs are. Through Jerry's help and from Marie's help as well, we go out there and we do joint calls on folks. The best call we can make is in person. So if you know some manufacturers that are out there, it would not surprise me at all if we haven't made a call on them. We have over 1,200 manufacturers in Pinellas County. So it's hard to call on all of them. So if you know someone, it doesn't hurt. It takes us a half hour, 40 minutes to run through a series of questions with them to find out what we can do to help them. So I'm honored. I'm really surprised. And I almost had haddock tonight, just in honor of you, because I thought I was here for you. So I can't thank you enough. I'm really surprised. And thank you all. And again, too, just hearing the citizens' comments tonight, when I go to the Pinellas County county commission meetings, which is not very often, but when I do, our citizen comments aren't the same as yours. Yours are very positive, and it tells you and speaks a lot for your community. So that's a culture that you should really be proud of as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I think perhaps we should get Suzanne in the picture. Don't you think that'd be a good idea?
I think it'd be great.
Suzanne Chrisman, also with Pinellas County Economic Development.
Going to be the rose in between?
Yeah, I'm not sure what your title is now, so.
Senior manager of the business development team.
Okay.
Fortunate enough to have Scott as my team.
Once upon a time, you had either Scott's job or one very similar, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just couldn't help but throw in a little history there.
How many years ago that was, I'm not counting.
Oh, no.
It's been too many.
We're glad you came tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
While you're down there? Sure. We can flip-flop it around if you want.
Tonight,
Next, our Employee Service Award, we're jumping ahead a little bit since he's already down on the podium.
save me a trip. Well, we have an Employee Service Award to present tonight, a milestone of 20 years to Bill Miller.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Hard to believe it's been 20 years, isn't it?
Oh, it's only 20 years.
That's all.
It's only the beginning.
That's right. And, well, let me, there's a check that goes along with this. You take that. Service Award in recognition for 20 years of service to the city of Oldsmar, presented to William Miller, 1995 to 2015.
Awesome. Thank you.
And his current job, Bill is a heavy equipment operator in the Parks Division. And I think most people know this, and of course, as I recall, I believe I presented you with your 15-year award. That was about 5 years ago. And your 10-year award, that was probably 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
So you're well aware of how much fun it is to do this, and that I don't do any research. It's all just kind of the top of my head, which makes it a little more fun. But so my recollection is, you've worked in parks all 20 years, is that right?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. So far, I'm doing okay.
Loving it. Loving it.
And I know you've worked in every park, every city building, the grounds, every piece of dirt that the city of Oldsmar maintains. It's not just the dirt, it's what's on top over your 20-year career now. And you've also been involved in building a lot of things, because when you started in the Parks Division 20 years ago, we didn't have as many parks, and the ones that we have were not quite as well developed or have the amenities that we have today. So some of the things I know that Bill has done over the years, a lot of building things ranging from bridges, trails, picnic shelters, and we could make the list a lot longer. But we all want to go home sometime this evening, so I'm going to move right along and just say, congratulations. Well, yeah, you're going to get a chance. We can recognize you on your 20th anniversary. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Bruce. Thank you very much. Can I have it? No. Thank you very much. Council, very much thank you. City staff, awesome. Great group of guys. Awesome. But when I was here 5 years ago, no, we were in the other building, I believe so. And I had 2 stories. No, maybe somebody met. Sure. Yes, you were. And the first story was how I met Mr. Haddock. And I'm not going to reiterate that one. But the second story is I have a goal. I had 2 goals, actually. And the first goal was to be able to retire from the city of Oldsmar, right? So when I got hired, officially, back in 1995, I saved my interview clothes. And needless to say, I was in hopes that I was going to be able to wear them tonight. But fashion, I'm going to blame it on fashion. I can still, what? I can still wear them. No, anyway. But, 25, I appreciate very much. Thank you very much.
Deb's going to take our picture.
I think I'm hidden. I think you're, if I can't see them, they can't see me, right? That's what I think.
Congratulations. Our next item is the presentation of proclamation for EMS Week, and I'll go ahead and read that. Emergency Medical Service Week. Whereas emergency medical services are a vital public service, and whereas the members of the emergency medical services teams are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness and injury, and whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, firefighters, educators, administrators, emergency nurses, emergency physicians, and others. And whereas the members of the emergency medical services teams, whether career or volunteer, engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continued education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week, now therefore I, Doug Beavis, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th to the 23rd, 2015 as Emergency Medical Services Week with the theme EMS Strong. I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Dated this date, the 19th day of May 2015, Doug Beavis, Mayor, and I'll present this to Aaron Gonzalez. I've seen him here somewhere.
Thank you. The EMS Strong thing really means a lot here. These guys are some of the best medics in the county. You couldn't find any better medics. And the 3 new people or 4 new people we're hiring, they're going to make us even stronger. We have some of the best guys. I just got a thing today from the county that we responded to a guy and we actually saved his life by getting his heart back flowing the way it should be, by getting him to the hospital in a timely manner and getting it done correctly. We also, a couple months ago, ran a cardiac arrest on a gentleman who was in cardiac arrest when we got there. Hillsborough County Sheriff's helped us out by using an AED on him, and we did CPR, and we got the guy back, and he's doing well. So, and every day these guys get accolades from people around the county. Hardly any bad things to say. It's usually always good. So I want to thank everybody in the city for all your support.
And our next is a presentation of Hometown Health Award from the League of Cities. Aaron Carpenter, I believe, is here, as well as our HR Director, June Donald.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor.
Good evening.
Council members. I'm here once again this year celebrating the achievements of the City of Oldsmar and their wellness program, led by our wellness champion over here, Ms. June Donald. You know, y'all have done a great job once again, and I don't know how you do it to engage the population here like you do, but the League of Cities would like to recognize you for all your efforts and the city's efforts with the 2014 Florida League of Cities Hometown Health Award. So, congratulations.
I'd just like to say thank you to the Florida League of Cities for their support of our wellness program. And he said he doesn't know how I do it. Well, I do it because we've got the support of the council, the management, the supervisors, and all the employees. So that's how we do it. So thank you, everybody, for your support.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Picture.
The next item is the swearing-in ceremony for our new firefighters, and that will be handled by our city clerk, Ann Nixon, and our fire chief, Dean O'Neill.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to thank you for this opportunity tonight.
I did that on purpose.
Take 2. Take 3.
Give him the real mic now.
I really don't know.
There we go.
Testing.
I think we're up.
I'm up. You're up.
Roll the tape back. Erase. I'd like to take this opportunity, and this is something we have not done in 7 years. Wow. In 7 years, which really, I think, is important because it means we have folks here who like to stay with the City of Oldsmar. We've had a few people leave who've gone to do other opportunities throughout their careers, and we've had some retirements and promotions, and that's where we're at today. So I'd like to call up tonight with me Noel Castro, Dan Abrami, Melvin Saflor, and Ross Penny. I kind of think about what Aaron said about EMS Strong, and I look at the crowd and see the experience that we have in the room, and now I look and see the experience that we have coming up in this next generation of EMTs and paramedics who will be serving the city, hopefully, through their entire career. So what we're going to do is we're going to provide them with the firefighters pledge, and they have some family members or significant others or strangers on the street who are going to actually pin their badges on them for them tonight. I did have a fire academy instructor tell us once that the last 3 letters in the word problems was EMS, and I told him that's not really the case.
How do we do all of them at once? We can do them individually. We're going individually. Daniel, we'll start with you. I, Daniel Abrami, do solemnly pledge
Do solemnly pledge
to uphold the laws and Constitution
to uphold the laws and Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the state of Florida, and the city of Oldsmar.
the state of Florida, and the city of Oldsmar.
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
protecting our citizens' lives,
protecting our citizens' lives,
health, homes, and property.
health, homes, and property.
I pledge to accomplish our mission
I pledge to accomplish our mission
through education, training,
through education and training,
and the commitment to accountability and respect.
to commitment to accountability and respect.
I pledge to accept with honor
I pledge to respect with honor
the duties and responsibilities
the duties and responsibilities
of firefighter for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
for firefighter for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. It's a good thing they have name tags. I, Noel Castro,
I, Noel Castro,
do solemnly pledge to uphold the laws and Constitution
do solemnly pledge to uphold the laws and the Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the state of Florida, and the city of Oldsmar.
the state of Florida, and the city of Oldsmar.
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
protecting our citizens' lives,
protecting our citizens' lives,
health, homes, and property.
health, homes, and property.
I pledge to accomplish our mission
I pledge to accomplish our mission
through education, training,
through education, training,
and the commitment to accountability and respect.
and a commitment to accountability and respect.
I pledge to accept with honor
I pledge to accept with honor
the duties and responsibilities
the duties and responsibilities
of firefighter for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
of firefighter with Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I, Melvin Saflor,
I, Melvin Saflor,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
to uphold the laws and Constitution of the United States of America,
to uphold the laws and Constitution of the United States of America,
the state of Florida,
the state of Florida,
and the city of Oldsmar.
the state of Florida, and city of Oldsmar.
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
protecting our citizens' lives,
protecting our citizens' lives,
health, homes, and property.
health, homes, and property.
I pledge to accomplish our mission
I pledge to accomplish our mission
through education, training,
through education and training,
and the commitment to accountability and respect.
and the commitment to accountability and respect.
I pledge to accept with honor
I pledge to accept with honor
the duties and responsibilities
the duties and responsibilities
of firefighter for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
of firefighter for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. I, Ross Penny,
I, Ross Penny,
do solemnly pledge
do solemnly pledge
to uphold the laws and Constitution
to uphold the laws and Constitution
of the United States of America,
of the United States of America,
the state of Florida, and the city of Oldsmar.
the state of Florida, and the city of Oldsmar.
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
I pledge to remain ever vigilant,
protecting our citizens' lives,
protecting our citizens' lives,
health, homes, and property.
health, home, and property.
I pledge to accomplish our mission
I pledge to accomplish our mission
through education, training,
through education, training,
and the commitment to accountability and respect.
and the commitment to accountability and respect.
I pledge to accept with honor
I pledge to accept with honor
the duties and responsibilities
the duties and responsibilities
of firefighter for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
of firefighter for Oldsmar Fire Rescue.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
If whoever's going to pin your badge would like to come up and join us. I'll say 1, 2, 3, and you just stab me.
Like in high school or something. Oh, boutonnieres.
Get a picture of this?
That's great.
Nobody's bleeding?
We got it covered. And we'll start down here with Dan, if you'd like to tell us who came with you tonight.
This is my wife, Courtney, and the one yelling was my daughter, Lily.
This is my mother, Esther, and my girlfriend, Brenna's right there, and my friend, Paul, in the brown shirt.
My wife, Nariza, my son, Darren, and my mother-in-law, Dory.
My clan, my kids, all three, and also my mother-in-law and my father and my family.
Okay, if I get the go sit.
We're always been ducking over a meeting. That would be more like our real council meetings. Want to? All right. Okay, Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations. We know you've been here, but welcome to the City of Oldsmar, Station 54. Glad to have you. Our next item is our city attorney.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, council members, item number 9 on your agenda is the second and final reading and public hearing of ordinance 2015-01. I'll read that by title only. Ordinance 2015-01, an ordinance of the City of Oldsmar amending the future land use element of the comprehensive plan of the city by amending the land use designation on that certain real property described as the southern 50 feet of 736 Shore Drive East, Oldsmar, Florida, parcel number 262816000004400100, containing approximately 0.36 acres, MOL, as further described in Exhibit A, from the county land use designation of residential estate to the city land use designation of residential estate, and providing for an effective date. That was the second and final reading of ordinance 2015-01 by title only.
This is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to address this item? Seeing no one.
Nobody
Thought they were all here for us. Seeing no one, will close the public hearing. I need a motion.
So moved.
A second? Motion and a second. Any discussion on this item?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 4-0.
No,
Public
roll call.
Roll call, sorry.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McKee?
Yes.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Yes.
Second and final reading of ordinance 2015-01, amending 736 Shore Drive East land use from county residential estate to city residential estate is passed with 4 votes for and 0 against.
Okay, item number 10 is the second and final reading and public hearing of ordinance 2015-02. I'll read that by title only. An ordinance of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, rezoning certain real property described as the southern 50 feet of 736 Shore Drive East, Oldsmar, Florida, parcel number 26 28 16 00 000 440 0100, containing approximately 0.36 acres MOL, as further described in Exhibit A, from county zoning designation of R4, 1, 2, and 3 family residential district to the city zoning designation of R1, single family district, and providing for the effective date. That was the second and final reading of ordinance 2015-02 by title only.
Again, this is a public hearing. Does anybody wish to address this item? Seeing no one, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second. Any discussion on this item?
No.
Seeing none, call the roll, please.
Councilmember Saraki?
Yes.
Vice Mayor McKee?
Yes.
Councilmember Norris?
Yes.
Mayor Beavis?
Yes.
Second and final reading of ordinance 2015-02, rezoning a portion of 736 Shore Drive East from county residential family to city residential single family is passed with 4 votes for and 0 against.
How many zeros did Tom state?
Lots of zeros.
Lots of zeros.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. City Manager?
I'm in the clear this evening.
Thank you.
A rare event.
Rare event. City Clerk?
I don't have anything either.
Thank you. City Council, our first item is a report from Councilmember Linda Norris on her Sustainability and National League of Cities conference that she attended recently.
Yes.
The floor is yours.
And Jerry's not even here for me to let him know that I didn't do any, long thing or anything. So I was just going to hit the high points.
He'll watch it on TV.
Yeah, he will. So I was there for a little bit less than a week, and it was broken up into 2 different conferences. The first conference was the Sustainability Conference at the French Embassy, and the second conference was the National League of Cities Conference, and that was pretty much held mostly at the convention center, but then we went to Capitol Hill and we lobbied representatives and senators. So I'll just go over the high points of both conferences because it took me a couple of weeks because I have about 100. I felt like a college student because I was in there taking notes in every single one, and I thought, well, I really want to get the most out of this week and give the citizens of Oldsmar as much information as I can. And I tried to target the workshops that meant more to a small city. So I'll start off with the sustainability, and the sustainability basically was elected officials and city officials from both the United States of America and France. So it was not all of Europe and all of the EU or anything like that because it was hosted by the French Embassy. But it had a really good showing of all across the country, and there was one other elected official from Pinellas County there, which was nice. So nice. Yeah, that was nice, and a couple from Tampa. Basically, everybody got together, all the cities got together and talked about the things that they were doing in their cities in order to combat climate change and to promote sustainability and to lower greenhouse gases. And wherever you are on that debate as to whether or not you think that, climate change is caused by humans or however it's caused, it's happening. It is happening. And so the idea was to maybe get some ideas from all different cities. I was very proud to be able to bring to the table the things that the city of Oldsmar has done with our charging stations and our water and our reclaimed water. Everything that we're doing, I was able to talk about all those things and invite folks to come and visit the city of Oldsmar so that they could see what we're doing. One of the biggest points of the whole thing that all of the mayors and everyone talked about was how we can improve our environment. Not even cars, of course, I'll talk about that a little bit, but a lot of people don't know that 50% of the population of the United States live in cities, and 80% of the population of the United States live under a city government with a mayor. So mayors and small towns, villages, townships are 80%. So like here in Pinellas County, we have unincorporated Pinellas County, and we have all of our cities and towns. So what that means is that we don't have to wait for the federal government to implement things. We can do things on a city level. And a lot of it was talking about how urban planning, how the planning of, say, like our Market Square that's coming up. Basically, they're saying we need to build up instead of out. We have to let go of the 200-year perception that sprawl is good, that that's the American dream. It's known that millennials are wanting to be more urban. They're wanting to be in more livable, walkable communities. Again, I was able to be proud of Oldsmar because we've got our bike trails and we've got a lot of what all of these other towns are working on, are talking about. But I just wanted to make the point that we want to continue to do that in Oldsmar. We don't want to go backwards. We want to continue to have bikeable, walkable, because if you don't have to drive a car to go get a gallon of milk, you don't have to drive a car to get a gallon of milk. And another point that was made was, yeah, everybody says that it's emissions from cars that cause the CO2. Yes, emissions from cars does cause CO2. Even my electric car is not a zero footprint. Even electric cars, if they're run with electricity on coal instead of gas, you're still having a carbon footprint. So they really made a big point of the pollution that buildings put off. And buildings let off more, it's the number one polluter. It's the number one use of energy, and it's the number one polluter. The hardest part there, and it would be something that would be in the future that we'd want to think about, is how do we enforce commercial leases to change to LED light bulbs and to upgrade their insulation. So that's the biggest challenge. The easiest, low-hanging fruit, city municipal buildings. And I know that we're already in the process of doing, but we can do more. So that was, and then a lot of it was the stuff that the French are doing, we can't compare with what we're doing because we don't have nuclear, we don't really have hydro, we don't have a lot of the energy sources in the works that they have over there. But the stories that I heard, like from the city of Bordeaux, I think it was Bordeaux, hold on. It was either Bordeaux or Carmel. Their population in 1950 was 1,000, and it's 100,000 now. And with a 1% increase in the temperature, they lost, I don't even know how many miles this is because I don't do metric, but 300 kilometers or kilometers or of coastline. They lost pine forests. Everything that kind of devastated that part of France changed the way Bordeaux wine is made. And I was like, okay, that people are going to listen to, you know. People want their Bordeaux wine, you know. So that, I thought that was pretty interesting. So a lot of the things that they're doing, we can't really do, but it was still interesting to hear the ideas from all over, really, you know, all over the country.
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's okay. If you have any questions, you can ask me, because I'm instead of going, like, reading it, I'm just trying to hit the points. So basically, they're saying through good planning, innovation, that city leaders, that we can address the role of core infrastructure development and innovation of the resilience of our communities by promoting biking, walking, transit. So we're doing a lot of that stuff already. One town had, I don't know, Bruce, if we have this in the works. I heard somebody talking about this, but smart meters to detect water leaks, energy usage, water quality, and the information goes straight to your smartphone. I don't know if that's something that, you know, maybe Esteban can look into, but smart meters to help, I don't know, might be something in the future, but I thought it was a good idea. And then they also have some kind of plant that uses biomass to generate electricity, and that's probably something in the future too, but it's all done by household waste and fallen trees and trees that you don't have to cut down. So I thought that was pretty cool. Let's see. There's also other things out there. I know people are against taxes, but there are cities across the country that have voted in carbon taxes. But there's also organizations called Carbon Neutral Cities, Energy Smart Programs. The one I was most interested in was the Smart Growth America program, which we might want to look into. And it's a nonprofit working with small cities across the country to obtain sustainability, and they don't charge anything. So it would be free. It would be free to have them come to us. I talked to her, to have them come and offer different suggestions of how we can be a more sustainable green city. So those are my cliff notes on the Sustainability Conference.
Awesome.
Now, the National League of City Conference was a lot bigger. 2,000 people were at this conference. And what ended up happening was only about 1,000 people registered until they found out the president was going to be the keynote speaker. And then everybody scrambled to get in just because they wanted to, hear the president speak. So I thought that was kind of funny. I'm so glad we were all signed up because there was a lot of people having to stay in hotels far away and have to get, and it snowed the first night we were there, so it wasn't easy navigating the city. It was the biggest snowfall they'd had, the biggest storm they'd had all year. I thought it was great. Florida girl there. So that was a much more structured conference where we had an agenda and we had talking points and we had all of our congressional, all of our appointments all set up with the lawmakers. And then again, we got to choose what we wanted to go to. But there were so many speakers. There were so many, Julian Castro, the HUD, let's see, he's the HUD cabinet secretary. And then Julie who else? There were so many of them. There were more cabinet secretaries that gave speeches at this conference than since the late 70s. So there was a lot of that to go to, which was really nice. And then they also had bipartisan stuff, which I really liked. I really liked that they had people from all the different parties all on a panel together and everybody got along. And that was encouraging with so much angst and so much, polarization in Washington right now. And that basically the things that we pushed for and the things that I was able to talk about Oldsmar with the lawmakers. And the lawmakers that I saw a representative for Gus's office, Gus Bilirakis' office, and he was wonderful. And then we had representatives with Marco Rubio's office and went over things with them. But really, I have to say that the standout meeting that we had was with Bill Nelson's office. And it was because it was all mayors, vice mayors, and mayors and vice mayors pretty much, all around a conference table, and his staff talking to us about all of our issues, all of the issues that we were going over with the National League of Cities, which I'll hit the highlights here pretty soon. And then Senator Nelson came in, and he not only came in and sat with us and talked to us about everything that we wanted to talk about, he interacted with each of us and asked us each about our cities and gave each of us assignments to do. Like my assignment was to go talk to Gus about the supplement to the transportation bill. So I mean, just as an example, it was just, he was very engaged back and forth. And that was nice because so many times you go, even when you go to Tallahassee, I'm sure you know, Mayor, sometimes you don't even get your points across because you don't get to talk to the right people. So that was really nice. The hard part was getting from office to office. I actually will never wear high heels again if I ever go back to Washington because I just took them off because you have to run. And you can go like down to the basement and then go over to the next building and everything else, but you still have to pretty much run. So the main things that we advocated for there on a state and national level, other than what I talked about just specifically for the city of Oldsmar, was my favorite one was closing the online sales tax loophole. And basically, y'all know about that. It's to save our brick and mortar companies. It's not really fair for Amazon and for all these online companies not to charge tax and then put our small businesses out of business because they're at a 7 to 10% disadvantage right then. Protecting our municipal bonds calls on Congress to preserve the municipal bond federal income tax exemption. And I'll read the reasons because they're important. The exemption is not a special interest loophole and should not be treated as such. Municipal bonds are the primary way local and state governments finance infrastructure and have been for over a century. And over 2/3 of all public infrastructure projects in the United States are financed by municipal bonds. And I'm sure Bruce can go on and on about how important that is. And of course, the other one, investing in local transportation priorities. And the highlights of that is we authorized at least 6 years of transportation programs and funding, and it enables more local control. supports innovative programs and finance, and helps fix the Highway Trust Fund, which all are very important. So these aren't just things that we as a city are interested in and that we're fighting for in Washington and in Tallahassee. These are National League of Cities points. So the theme of the whole conference was go local, because and even when the president spoke, he even emphasized how important it was to really get involved on a local level, that these kind of governments here are working where higher levels of government aren't really working all that well. That's as bullet point down as I can get it. I mean, I could keep going, but those were and I had already told y'all that it was really cool that 10% of the attendees were kids.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was awesome. That was awesome, and a big contingency from Hillsborough County, but not from Pinellas County. So maybe if y'all go next year, or somebody goes in a couple years or whatever, maybe we could arrange to have a couple of kids. I also participated in the energy committee around whole discussion and everything, but a lot of those points are kind of the same points as what we went over in the sustainability, so I won't go over that. But that was my first time that I got to actually be in a meeting, and that was really cool. So I was really happy to do that. And I just want to thank the city and Bruce and the mayor and everybody for allowing me to do this, because it was invaluable not only for the information that I did get and the connections that I did make, and it also showed them that even though we're a little tiny city of Oldsmar, and I was so happy to meet somebody from, like, I don't know, whatever, Rapids, whatever, that had like 2,000 residents, because it was all these big cities and everything. And it was like asking populations and stuff. And I was the smallest city, because we're smaller than Pinellas Park, right? Yeah. So, and St. Pete, obviously, and Tampa, obviously. So finally, I met a mayor of this little tiny town in, I don't know, New Mexico or something. And I asked him, I said, if you only have 2,000 residents, how in the world did you have the money to come here? And he said, Exxon. And I'm like, what? And he goes, Exxon. Oh, but we're not listening to him, don't worry. Yeah, it was funny. So I hope I hit the highlights.
Great job.
I was very excited to go.
Bill Nelson's a great speaker too.
Yeah.
He spoke at that conference, 2 years ago we went to in Orlando?
Florida League conference.
Yeah, the Florida League.
That was a great speech.
Yes.
Oh, actually, you know what? There is one more thing I wanted to say, because one of the speakers really got me. It was the one that I forgot her name. Hold on, I have to find it, because I want to tell y'all what she was up to. The Secretary of the Interior. Okay, here it is. Sally Jewell, the Secretary of the Interior. It was amazing how energetic and how passionate she was. And she's all about youth initiatives. And this I relate to Oldsmar as well, because of our parks. And basically her theme was let children play, get them outdoors, get them away from the video games, get them, this generation of children are the most unhealthy generation of children we've had in decades, because all they do is sit in front of their computers. So her whole thing is to get kids out. So she's organized all these different kind of treasure hunts in the parks and service projects, and offering free tickets to every fourth grader and all their family to go to the parks, and all the things that and this actually is on a federal level, so I have to give it to them. All of the things they're trying to do to get the kids back out, like, well, you're a millennium, so I know that when we were kids, we used to ride bikes and ride horses and go outside.
I ate dirt and played outside.
Still do.
Yeah.
I mean, we basically went out in the morning and played outside all day long, and then came back for dinner, and that was it. And you were always outside. You got kicked out of the house. You weren't allowed to be in the house. But then again, we only had 3 channels back then.
And you had to get up and change them.
Yeah. So I definitely wanted to point that out, because that
TV.
So thank you again.
Thank you.
And
Thanks
see, Sherry, that wasn't that long. I had a lot more written. I just didn't say it all.
Thank you, Linda. Next item is discuss the Oldsmar Trail. This was presented or asked to be put on the agenda by Councilmember Seidel. I don't know if, Bruce, if you want to kind of go over the crux of why that was on there. I think we know.
Sure. It was particularly related to that segment of the trail adjacent to Gull Air Village. And so I had asked the Sheriff's Office for information regarding calls for service or incidences on that particular segment of the trail. And this, they reviewed from January 1st of this year to April 23rd. There was only one service call or report during that period of time on March 30th, a motorized scooter on the trail. So that was only one incident over almost a 4-month period. And they, I mean, the deputies are on the trail, I would say, often. So we would want to encourage the residents of Gullier or anyone else, though, if they see something suspicious, to, you know, call the sheriff's office and make them aware of it.
Anybody have any questions on this item? I think it's obviously something that we need to continue to monitor, because sometimes, you know, we've heard stories of the Pinellas Trail and incidents that happen on there, so we definitely want to keep our trail users safe. So thank you for that information. Our next item is to select a representative and an alternate to the Suncoast League of Cities. This came about at our work conference that we had recently. Becky from USF that helped put our program together that we were at asked me about the Suncoast League of Cities and Oldsmar having a representative. We have had a representative before, and that was former member Janice Miller who did that. So I asked Bruce to put it on the agenda. I believe Dan Saraki has indicated that he has an interest in helping out with that. I don't know that this is the type of board, I know you've said in the past that we had an alternate, but we at least want to have a representative on there, and it's not the type of board like I'm on with the PSTA or others are on, that you're a designated board member. You know, you're a participant in it, and I believe Dan would do a great job representing the city of Oldsmar and bringing the information back to us. And obviously, if he's unable to attend, we could all be alternates, and one of us could go and fill in, or we could get information. I don't know if that's something you'd be interested in.
I'm honored.
Okay.
I went to the luncheon when I went to the training for the ethics training. You guys are going tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Is it tomorrow?
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
1 to 5.
Well, I went to that, and then I went to the luncheon because Ann and Kathy asked me to go to luncheon, and I really enjoyed it. So I think I'd be honored to represent the city of Oldsmar for the Suncoast League of Cities.
It's good because it's all of our local commissioners, and I know I went with Janice years ago and to one of the luncheons, and they had a speaker come in, an attorney come in and talk about some local laws and things like that. It was really good.
It's probably similar to, on a different level, like the mayor's council that I go to, where all the mayors, and they bring somebody in to share information that is applicable to all municipalities and things like that. So
Amazing what you learn at things like that.
Mhm.
It was incredible. And Becky came up to me at the work session. She says, "Go tell them I want you on the board." And I was like, we were just too busy. You know, it's too much going on.
Yeah.
I was just a citizen, but I guess I don't even know if you can go as unless someone invites you as a guest, or like Janice did for
Sure.
me. But
Yeah.
it was great. I loved it.
If nobody has any objection, I'd like to maybe have a motion to have Dan?
I'll make the motion.
Second? Motion and second. All in favor for Dan?
Aye.
Perfect. Next is council comments, and we'll start with Councilmember Saraki.
First of all, well, thank you, Mayor. This past Saturday, Eastlake Oaks Home Development, HOA, had their our fifth annual block party. It was the biggest attended one by far. We almost had 400 attendees.
Wow.
And I want to thank our food sponsors, because the food people donate all the food for all the neighbors in Eastlake Oaks. We had Rumba, Jack Willie's, Famous Pizza, Boot Ranch Publix, and Buffalo Wild Wings. And what was crazy about this is the food was running out, and they were calling people at their locations to get more food to bring it to the block party. And they fed all these people. It was absolutely amazing. Ace, the Sunoco, you guys in Sunoco, right across the street from Rumba, he donated ice and tea for the neighbors. And then I also want to thank Suda. She brought out her Hawaiian dancers. The neighbors absolutely loved it. They were out there dancing. They had a shirt contest for the men, a shirt contest for the women. It turned out to be a great success, and the neighbors were talking about it. It was all over Facebook. I also want to thank the neighbors especially. They donated food to Oldsmar Cares, which was equal to 15 bags of food when calculated about 120 pounds. Wow. So the neighbors really came out to help Oldsmar Cares, which was really important. And I want to thank Scott and Ann Nixon and your kids They sat there all day handing out water to the neighbors, and that was really appreciative, and that was just great. Thank you so much. And of course, the board members who donate their time. They're dedicated to the community, bringing the people together to increase security in our neighborhood. It's just outstanding. I got Nick Yaznik, who is our security guard. He actually lives right across from the pool, so he keeps track of the pool, making sure it's safe for people. And then we had Chad Robertson. He's been on our board since 2004. Darlene, who you met, our centennial rock and roll queen, and then Scott Wilson, he's a new member on our board. Thank you to all those people for bringing the people together, making this, just an successful block party for bringing the community together. And with that, I got one other thing I wanted to say about our work session. I really feel that we are a great team. I was really impressed with that work session, and I'm really honored to be on your team. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Norris.
Like you said, the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office awards were just very moving, and with all of this, instead of just giving the award, they told the story behind the award and the lives saved or the incidences diffused, and it was very moving. So it was an honor for all of us to be there. Real quick update on the art in public places. Bruce and Lynn and the two artists and myself had a meeting Monday. And they're ready to do the models, and they're ready to move forward on giving us the breakdown on the proposals now that we've given them the changes that we wanted, so that's exciting. The only other thing I wanted to put on the record is I'm not real happy with the way that the Thornton's colors came out, because it's not, the gray is not the gray that we chose on the council, and I don't know what happened between the emails. My email was actually either redacted, or I got the only portion of the email that I was wanting to, I read the whole email, but I wanted to read the portion about the gray where the slats were, because it was not supposed to be a black, and it was all blacked out. So all I know is that when I drove by there, it is a very, very dark charcoal. It is not the light gray that we chose on the council. We chose a light gray. We chose a slate light gray, and I don't know how it happened. I don't know how it didn't. I don't know how they got away with it. And I'm not happy with it, because it's not what we chose. It is not the color that we chose.
Well, I think maybe, and Bruce might be able to address this, I know we had reached a point with the council that we turned it over to basically Bruce and Marie to kind of massage and work out the fine details with the reds and the other colors. Is that correct? And maybe it got tweaked and massaged a little bit at that point? I'm not sure.
Well, the color, I think everyone could conclude it was red. But what was approved in the site plan was Pantone 187C.
Well, the reds I'm not upset about. The reds I'm not upset about. The reds look fine. They're the reds and the maroons, those look fine. What is not fine is behind the black grates at the top, the louvers. That is not. That was black and red, and that's what we didn't like. It was too stark, black and red. It doesn't look that much different than black and red. It is not the gray that we asked for. We asked for like a slate lighter gray, and the pictures that they showed us was beautiful. And now, I don't know what happened with emails and Pantone colored this and Pantone colored that, or how they did it, but it is not the color that this council approved. It's just slightly charcoal gray, so it's like a little bit off black and to charcoal gray. That's not what we asked for, so I'm not happy with that. I don't know how it happened, but I'm not happy with it.
Well, basically, they said they complied with the site plan. The louvers, the site plan condition was to be wood grain, which they are. And I don't think we had a strong enough case to deny their certificate of occupancy, which would have resulted in them suing us, by the way, also. And I didn't think that was
overall in the big picture
something we could prevail on.
Well, I figured it was something like that, so I'm not asking for anything to be changed or anything. I just wanted on the record that in the future, I think that we have to be more careful, because the whole idea of making our Thorntons look better than all the other Thorntons was because we didn't want that Thornton look. We didn't want that starkness. And yeah, they did, other things that we had asked for, but that was a big part of it. That changing that black to a gray was a big part of it, and it is not what we asked for. So
I got to tell you, and I've been involved with the Thorntons people the past couple of weeks, trying to help them as much as I can. And I also went to the Thorntons at Tampa Road and US 19, and I stop at the one on Gulf to Bay as I come back from my beach office, but ours is leaps and bounds better than any Thorntons that's around there, and I agree that maybe it, here and there, but the resident or the businesses in the park behind them are ecstatic. I think a lot of the things that the city requested that maybe they were resistant to, I think, and Bruce has said he's not looking for flowers or a thank you card anytime soon from Thornton's, or Marie. But the trim on the red arch that matches the rest of the building, I think is something that they may wind up incorporating into their model. The 187C that I have a paint chip of in my car, because I went up there with it, is something that they have added to their color palette. The white canopy with the, what do you call that, Gizmo Doolally? The 45 degree.
Right, the roof.
What's that called? Whatever it's called. That
Lanyard roof.
Mansard
roof, yeah.
Is something that, that they may consider. It softens it if you can soften a gas station.
Right. Well, don't get me wrong. I think the rest of it looks great, and I think the building behind it is 100 times better, and I think and it even looks better from the road. I think a lot of what they did in corporate looks nice, but it was very disappointing to see that charcoal gray instead of the light.
I guess overall, in the scheme of things, to only be disappointed on one item, considering it certainly. Although I pointed out to the GC that, don't forget, this is still just a gas station, but it certainly looks a lot better than what we had there in the past. So thank
Is
you.
there going to be any type of ribbon cutting? Or
Ribbon cutting is Thursday at 3 or 4 o'clock, I believe. So I'll be there for
And bring some light gray paint. I'm kidding.
Yeah. You know what time it is, 3 or 4? No, I can let you know, Gabby.
I think they're well aware we were not completely satisfied.
They are.
Yeah.
Be sure to tell them at the ribbon cutting.
Yeah, we'll bring them a thing of paint. So
I will. I'll bring a sprayer. No, I'm just kidding.
Have a
I'm just
vandal
kidding.
out there.
I'll get arrested for vandalism.
I see Linda up there behind the thing. She's
You'll
like,
see me up there. Hey, I'm on the city council. They did it wrong.
Vice Mayor McGee?
A couple of things. I want to mention that Habitat Humanity dedication you and I went to. That was really good. It was for a woman and her 3 children in the city off of Saginaw Court. And they actually didn't build new. They restored an older house, I think, from the 70s. So that was great because I haven't seen Habitat do that a lot. And it brought up some conversation. I've been emailing with their VP of development about potentially getting them involved in some of our other historic foreclosures and things that might be here in the city.
Nice.
Because I thought it'd be great if we could team up with Habitat on some of our foreclosures, especially ones that might be historic, to get them restored and give them to a family in need. So that's something a discussion that's happening. And then also, Doug and I liked this idea, but one of their members recently went to Guatemala on what they call a global village trip, and you actually build homes there for local family members. And I said, wow, that would be awesome if we did a global village trip with the council. The entire council. I thought that would be fun. So I don't know if that's anything.
Well, I don't know what
where.
I don't know what.
Well, it wouldn't. We don't know yet. But
Well, it'll be Guatemala. What's interesting, and I had heard this before, and a lot of people don't know that, is for every house that they build in the United States or rehab in the United States, they build one in either Guatemala or Africa. So to help them, and I mean, if we can work out the logistics, and I don't know if they fund it or they fly everybody over or whatever.
She said you fundraise, so everyone would fundraise. But it's kind of like when I did that rappelling thing.
Sure.
You fundraise the money and then it goes But so that was something neat. So I did email, and if I hear anything back about that, it would be a really neat trip, and us to be able to go to another country and build some houses. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
So, and then. From our planning meeting, we talked about club sport, the leagues that I'm on, and trying to get them over to Oldsmar. So I did send an email to Bruce and Lynn this evening. The president of club sport reached out to me and said he would love to work within the city of Oldsmar. So maybe we'll have some sport leagues here in the city and some new young professionals coming into the city for that. And just for anyone that didn't see, because we kind of posted on Facebook, that we were recently informed that an organic farm and restaurant will be coming to Oldsmar. And I think it's probably going to be on the Tampa side. Yeah, so we think it's going to be on the Tampa.
Which parcel is it?
I'm not sure.
We haven't identified. I was with Marie, and we were trying to identify where 8 acres of swampy kind of land. It's got to be somewhere near the brewery that's going in and everything.
Yeah, and
else.
they're
Wherever Leroy Selma, Jerry Beaverland and I we were even trying to figure it out, and we couldn't figure it out. He's thinking it's going to be over by where the cleaners are, so on the
think so,
Hillsborough
too.
County side, so it's not Oldsmar.
So that's neat. it'll be called Fat Beet Farm, BEET, and from the co-founder of Bonefish. So that's something new and exciting, especially the new brewery that's getting built to Tampa Bay Brewing Company. And one follow-up for you, and you may have emailed me about it. I was looking at our crime report, and I had emailed you about, is there a way to find out, it looked like our number of burglaries had increased, and I wanted to know if it was like in a specific area of the city, and if we needed to see if we needed more patrol in that area. I don't know if you saw that, or could.
I don't know the answer to that specific question, but there is a way to determine that, yes.
Okay.
So I'll get you
So
an
overall, our
answer.
crime was low, but I did see there was an increase in burglaries, and I was just curious if it was in a particular neighborhood or area.
He's making notes.
Okay, great. And that's all I have.
Thank you. I only have a couple of things. Again, the Hubbard family, if you could just share our thoughts and prayers with them. And I have a note to myself, after our next meeting, which will be the first meeting in January, or in June, we will be going back to casual. It dawned on me, more so for the men, when I went home to change and get ready, how hot it was, and I was sweating before I even got back into my car, so casual.
Halfway there.
You're halfway there, yeah, so unless otherwise specified that we maybe have some special presentation or something, we can go casual if you would like.
After the next one.
After the next meeting. I have a habitat comment too, but you covered that. I just heard today that Beef O'Brady's is open, so that's exciting for Oldsmar. Every time I think of that, I think of Jerry Walters that used to come up and always tell us all the ones that had closed, and I continue to mention the ones that continue to open. Speaking of which, as soon as I leave here, and I believe everybody's invited from the council, it is not a ribbon cutting, it is a lantern lighting for Tin Drum tonight. Their opening was from 7 to 9 o'clock, so I told them that we had council and that we would try and be there after. They said they were going to do it when the sun goes down.
Who's going?
I'm going.
I'll go. I'll go.
Huh? No, I think they're just gonna, I'm not sure. They're lighting
Where is it?
a lantern. It's in the plaza where Salt Rock Grill is in Rumba. Other than that, I have nothing else. Tom, do you have anything? Bruce, do you have anything? Yeah? Okay. If not, I need a motion for the tentative June 2nd agenda.
So moved.
Second? Motion is second. All in favor?